Ladies and gentlemen, behind me we have an extraordinarily special car, and that is because it actually comes in a manual. Yep, it's the 2021 Toyota Corolla, and in this buddy review, and I need a buddy, we're gonna do what, Tommy?
We're gonna drive the non-manual version because the one the one you see behind us is not actually available in the manual transmission, but it is almost $30,000. And in this video, we're gonna figure out, is this Corolla worth it?
Yeah, are we gonna find out how fast it is from 0 to 60?
Yep.
Are we gonna find out if it can find snarfs?
Yep.
Are we gonna find out whether you should buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it?
We absolutely are going to do all of those things in this review. Now let's start out with a quick walk around of the design. This is the XSE trim, the top trim of the 2021 Corolla, and I love this color. It's called Blueprint. It's like a dark navy blue, and it looks fantastic. Now the front end of the Corolla has gotten very bold, and by bold I mean large and in your face. Very extensive grille that extends pretty much the entire width of the vehicle. I do like these new LED lights down here in the lower front fascia, and the actual lighting package in this is adaptive and it is LED, so you do get a lot of options for your $30,000. But you also have a relatively small car because the Corolla still competes with vehicles like the Honda Civic and Mazda 3. Now let's take a look at these wheels. The wheel design is it's very sporty actually, and look how low profile these tires are. 225/40 R18 tires on this puppy. Yokohamas, yeah, exactly, Dad. And the whole kind of vibe of the XSE is supposed to be sporty. It's supposed to be kind of aggressive and fun. And in the rear, that continues. Lip spoiler up here. We've got kind of a, I'm gonna say, a simulated diffuser down here. I don't know how much aero this actually accomplishes. And then dual exhaust right here on the right side of the vehicle. And check this out, red badging.
You know, Tommy, nobody in the history of automotive journalism gets excited when you say, let's check out the 4-cylinder engine.
Oh, jeez, that's hot.
All right, maybe if it's... I got it. Maybe if it's a 4-cylinder boxer in a STI, you might get excited, but you know, these 4-cylinder power plants have been ubiquitous in this class.
Yeah.
I use that word again, ubiquitous.
So there are two engine options for 2021. The base engine's a 1.8 naturally aspirated. This is a 2-liter naturally aspirated, about 169 horsepower. There's also a hybrid actually. The hybrid is a really cool piece of tech, crazy MPG, but this is just a, you know, a fairly normal 4-cylinder engine.
You know what I like about it?
What?
It's got dual exhaust.
I also like that it's uncovered.
Yeah.
Unless we're missing an engine cover.
Unless we're missing an engine cover. I don't think so, because you can tell by the oil dipstick that there would be no engine cover. How about transmission?
CVT in this one. It's okay, it's a Corolla. People buy these because they're reliable and they're efficient.
Dude, I started this review saying you can get a manual, and here we are testing a CVT.
Yeah, well, the XSE, this top trim, is not available in the manual. But if you want something like an SE, you can. Hang on. It's really hot. Wowzer.
I'm sitting where I usually drive, Tommy.
The backseat of the Corolla is pretty roomy. Even my dad's driving position at 6'2". Plenty of room back here. A decent amount of legroom. Headroom is a little bit compromised, not as bad as some sedans I've been in. And definitely, you know, you do see some cheap plastics throughout the back seat of the vehicle, but it's a comfortable place to be.
What do you think of the funky seat material?
Yeah, this has a kind of like a, what's the name? Soft touch?
Neoprene?
No, there's a name for this. I have to look it up with Monroney. I'm sorry, I'm totally failing you. But SRS airbags in the rear of this. And yeah, I think we should get on the road. So Dad, this material is called Softex. It's kind of, I think it's a simulated leather, but it's also heated actually in the front. So I've got heated seats in this Corolla.
Let's talk some numbers, dude. What's the fuel economy? Right there, 34.
Yep, 34. I'm sorry, my thumb was covering it. 34 combined, 31 city, 38 highway.
All right, and how about MSRP as tested?
MSRP as tested, $29,289.
Whoa, just a hair under 30K. So what do you think of this interior? You like this biggish screen?
Yeah, it's an 8-inch screen. It definitely juts out above the dashboard, but it's pretty easy to use. It's the latest Toyota system.
I gotta tell you, I'm really over these like iPads stuck onto the dashboard. I think the Germans started doing it, then everybody else copied them. It's just old and, you know, integrated into the design. Don't just kind of plop it on there.
I disagree. I'm a happy camper because it has both volume and tune knobs, and that's all I ask. And auto manufacturers. It also has an area here for the climate control. It's an automatic climate control, single zone with another knob for your fan speed. Love that feature as well. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It kind of does stick out above the dash, but you know, it looks nice. I mean, it works.
You know what I love? I love this right there. The traditional gear selector. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this, right? It's just cool. Even though there's a CVT connected to it, I still love the fact that they gave us a traditional gear selector. And we do have some fancy, schmancy little features like heated, two temperature heated seats.
Yep, it's got Qi wireless charging there.
Yeah.
It has a sport mode. Let's go ahead and engage that.
We'll turn the dial red, Tommy.
This is a 7-inch instrument cluster screen with a mechanical tack on the left, which is interesting, and then some more gauges on the right.
So do you think it'll actually do 160 miles an hour?
I mean, it's got 160 horsepower. Maybe that's what that means.
I think at about 100 it's going to be pretty tapped out. I think they're being very optimistic with that.
I think you're right. I like the blue stitching too.
Yeah.
So it's got blue stitching up here on the top of the dash, but for some reason black stitching down here on the middle of the dash. Why not tie that together? I don't get that.
And this leather wrapped steering wheel with paddle shifters feels nice to touch, but is absolutely silly with a paddle shifter on a CVT. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's got manual modes.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it in drive for a 0 to 60.
You know, I'd love to know from you guys out there in the comments below, do any of you guys ever use a CVT with a manual mode? I mean, is there anybody actually out there like paddle shifting or manual shifting a CVT? And if you are, when do you use it and why?
Going down mountains, it'll hold a higher RPM for engine
Yeah,
braking.
but what if you live in Illinois?
Well, going down smaller hills. Engine braking with the higher RPM. So this is our 0 to 60 mile per hour test. We're going to come to a complete stop. It's real world, so there are 3 people in the car.
At a mile above sea level.
At a mile above sea level, that's correct, Dad.
We're going to merge onto this highway. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
I'm going to floor it. Floor it.
Sport mode engaged.
Oh my, this is going to be over 10, Tommy. I can already tell.
There's 6,500 RPM.
I'm going to sit back, relax.
6,500 RPM.
And there we have it. Oh, ouch.
Oh, 13.40. With,
yeah.
Once again, it's not ideal conditions, obviously, just merging onto the highway, but it's real world. It's what you can expect.
We're slow, Tommy. That is slow. You know, I think if you're at sea level, you can knock a second off of that, but even at that, I'd be a little concerned. Hey, do you have our highway noise tool, please?
I sure do. Let's close up the sunroof there.
I'm doing 60 as always.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
About 68 decibels at 60 miles per hour.
Oh, loud.
Yeah, I think part of that is the low profile tires.
Yeah.
You can hear the tires rolling on the road pretty significantly at highway speeds.
All right. Well, are you hungry? It's lunchtime.
Let's use the voice command to try to navigate to Snarf sandwiches.
All right, I'll try it. Navigate to Snarfs.
Say address, point of interest.
Let me try.
Sorry, could...
Navigate to Snarf's sandwiches.
Searching. Showing results for Snarf sandwich.
Aha. It worked.
To navigate to this point of interest, say go that.
I would just hit go and off we'd go. So not quite as like it's thought you said Surf's sandwiches.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, so
that's a new competitor.
Yeah.
They have seafood-based sandwiches.
So the voice recognition isn't all that amazing for natural voice, but it worked okay. I mean, we're going to Snarfs.
First of all, the biggest problem with all these systems immediately is when you hit the button, you start talking, but it doesn't recognize that you're talking. It needs first a ding, right? So you got to hit the button, then it dings, then you talk, and that's not the way me and you talk. I don't go like, "Hey, Tommy, what do you think of the ride of this thing?"
Bling!
Ding! Now talk. You know, it's just silly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it worked. I mean, we're gonna be eating lunch today, Dad.
Yes, we are. All right.
You'd think by now we'd figure out where Snarfs is, but we still need to navigate there.
Yeah, I know. You think we know exactly how to get to it. All right, put up our little hula girl.
One issue I have here,
Yeah.
not a lot of storage cubbies. I'm always fighting for storage cubbies here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our rough road section. So I'm going to hold it so that you can move around.
I'm hitting the potholes. That's a really good ride, actually.
Yeah, it's super compliant.
Yeah. So I'm going to give that maybe barely a 2. What would you say?
I would say a 3, but it doesn't feel wallowy, which is a good thing. So it's got kind of a soft ride without, you know, floating around the bend. It's really well positioned, the suspension.
Yeah, I would say the ride is actually really good. It's a good compromise between sporty and comfortable. It's probably one of my favorite features of this car. You know, the thing I love about a Corolla is it's just super easy. It falls to hand very easily. You know what I mean? There's nothing here that's going to confuse you, that's going to make you feel like, you know, you're in a vehicle that needs a lot of either attention or needs to be parked separately away from other cars or needs to be, you know, cracked open in the owner's manual to figure it out. It all just works.
But there's also nothing here that's going to make you really excited to drive it. So its competitors, the Honda Civic and the Mazda 3, are both much more engaging to drive, especially the Honda with that little turbocharged engine.
No, the Mazda's got a turbo now too.
Yes, that's true, Dad. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good solid runabout, but it's not quite as fun as those two.
You know, Tommy, this would be the kind of car that if you had just graduated high school or college, I'd be very happy for you to drive because I feel like it would be safe and you wouldn't hurt yourself in it.
Yeah, and I probably could put 250,000 miles on it.
Exactly.
It's a good transportation, and it's finally a little bit cooler to look at in the XSE trim, but it still isn't all that fun to drive.
Yeah, you know, is it fun to drive? No, I mean, it's not exactly going to put a huge smile on your face every time you get behind the wheel, but sometimes, you know, transportation is just that, comfortable transportation, right? Stress-free, always starts, easy to figure out, and I think there's a lot to be said for that.
For sure.
All right, well, there you have it. A fun time not had by all, Tommy. So on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, what do you give the Corolla?
The XSE, I'm going to give it a lease it, but more of the affordable Corollas that start at about 20, I'm going to say buy it because they'll last forever and they'll get you where you need to go.
Yeah, I can't give a buy it to a CVT. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter, it's a Corolla. It's efficient, it's affordable transportation.
13 seconds, I can't do it. I'm going to go, if you want good basic transportation, lease it. If you want something that will make your heart stir, then probably rent it.
It's a Corolla. It's not supposed to make your heart stir.
Well, Toyota said they're trying to inject life and, you know, more passion into their cars, and you got to go beyond to sticking like, you know, a big grille and dual exhaust. You have to actually make the car fast or quick or something.
Well, let us know in the comment section below what you think of the new 2021 Corolla, and as always, this is Tommy
and Roman saying thanks for watching, and check out TFLcar.com for more news, views,
and real world reviews.
See you guys next time. Ciao.